A winter storm is expected to impact much of the United States this week. Let's begin with the current watches and warnings. As we can see here, wind chill watches, warnings, and advisories all throughout the plains of the United States, including Montana, North and South Dakota, Nebraska, all the way down into Texas and even Oklahoma. As we move throughout this week, that wind chill area will shift to the east across the United States into the mid Atlantic and Great Lakes regions, and then, of course, the northeastern United States. Along with that, blizzard warnings are likely, winter storm watches and warnings, as well as ice storm warnings. All those hazards will light up the map over the course of this week, and we will continue to bring you information on that as we get closer. As you can see here, snowfall will be a concern. The European High Resolution Model calling for a significant amount of snow, that dark blue 3 inches or more, light blue 1 inch, and then once you get to purple 6 inches, that darker purple is a foot of snow. A decent amount of snow for much of the United States by Christmas Eve morning, and that's the same on the GFS model, a little more widespread and a little bit higher amounts, but nonetheless it is very clear that something will be underway. So behind this storm, and this is really the big thing, not necessarily the snow. The snow is going to be one thing, especially in conjunction with the very strong winds behind the storm. But it's also going to get cold. So a low pressure system, usually on the south side of it in the northern hemisphere, the south side of it has a cold front associated with it. That means we go from warm to cold because the cold air is taking over and becomes dominant. And you can really see the effects of that Christmas Eve morning throughout the United States. Wind chills, that blue, once you reach that blue shading, that's freezing wind chills. So wind chills will be freezing in every single state in the Union, in most states in the Union. Wind chills will be below zero in about half of the states, at least in some portion of half of the states. Washington, perhaps even parts of the Texas Panhandle, Oklahoma, places like Atlanta, Georgia will have wind chills below zero as we enter into this time frame, and perhaps even significant wind chills below 50 below zero in the Dakotas, perhaps Minnesota even. And this isn't even the coldest it's going to get. At some points, for example, in Oklahoma, why they already have the winter or the wind chill watch is because we will see wind chills near -20 in Oklahoma City. That's going to be big. That's going to be massive. Actual temperatures won't be much better. They're going to be about 0 degrees. So really a lot of cold heading this way. The GFS European telling much the same story, much of the US with wind chills below freezing and even wind chills below zero. You see, again, Texas has temperatures below zero. Atlanta, temperatures below zero. Perhaps southern Oklahoma, maybe if the models progress that way, portions of northern Dallas, the northern Dallas metro area could see wind chills below zero Christmas Eve morning. And so, yeah, this is going to be a big storm with respect to both the snow aspect of things and the wind chill aspect of things. And both of those will be amplified by the wind associated with this. The chances of winter storm warning are very high over portions of the Midwest. And so we will continue to monitor that, and those probabilities will increase further to the east of the currently shown areas as this only goes through Friday morning. For example, in Columbus, the greatest amount of snowfall won't be by Monday morning. It's or by Friday morning. It'll be closer to Friday evening or somewhere in that range. So if we really take into account all of these things, just note that that wind is really going to cause a lot more harm than good. It's going to cause snow to be blowing, perhaps make blizzard conditions in like the Chicago and Milwaukee areas, perhaps Kansas City as well, in other areas in central Illinois and places in Iowa. We could also see wind chills amplified by those wind gusts. The temperatures are going to be cold, as I mentioned. Oklahoma City, Columbus, Ohio, places like that are going to have wind chills or actual temperatures at least in the single digits, if not below zero itself. And combine that with, I don't know, 30-mile-an-hour winds, 50-mile-an-hour gusts. That's going to be a cold wind chill. It's not going to be fun to be outside and that. So prepare for that. And again, with the snow and potentially ice in other portions of the United States, like the Appalachian Mountains, with ice coming as well, you're going to want to definitely keep an eye on things, because if the power goes out and then it gets to be that cold, that will be devastating. So we do know that a major winter storm will impact Christmas traveling. Ignore the graphics on this screen. The blizzard conditions are possible in the Midwest and Great Lakes regions. Cold temperatures and fast winds will result in very low wind chills, putting most locations in the United States well below freezing. And the areas that get snow should retain that snow on the ground by Christmas morning, thus resulting in a white Christmas. That's all for now. Chris, weather, Catholic Beat.